afternoon.
Good evening.
Or whatever time you're listening.
And you're listening to...
Listen very carefully. The podcast for people who love all things hello.
So, let's begin.
I'm Kim Hartman, and I played the part of Helga.
I'm Guy Siner, and I played Lieutenant Gruber.
And I am Richard Gibson, and I played Herr Flick.
I just thought this was one of those really full episodes. It reminded me of like the chases around the chateau, like that wonderful one where you were in a suit of armour in the chateau and everyone's hiding around. Yes. And this was a bit the same, but set in a hospital.
Yes.
Some favourite moments.
Oh, absolutely.
It was all plot, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. Yet another hat from Sheena Napier, which Yvette was wearing.
Yes.
She came in with this glorious hat.
Feathery job, wasn't it? It was a sort of
like
ring of
petals.
It was
petals.
rather pretty, wasn't it?
Stiff white, yellow, pink. I can't speak anymore. Pink petals.
Pink petals. It was very pretty.
And quite a nice chunk with the two communist resistance girls. Well, they're not both communist resistance.
They are.
Yes, they are.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
There's
The leader
Moira Foot and Carol Ashby.
Yes.
And
the leader and her deputy.
Yes.
They're both
Who
communist
both
resistance.
had quite a sizable chunk
Yes.
with
They did.
Renee.
They did.
Which was jolly good and
Denise
nice to see.
Larocque and what's Carol called?
Do you know? I can't remember.
I can't either.
That's the great thing about being old. Is if you can't remember something, you've got a
remember
perfect
It
excuse.
doesn't matter. Yes. Just haven't got the grey. What's it?
Grey. What is
Grey
it?
thingy things. I want to go on to the dungeon actually.
Go on then.
Can I jump onto the
Yeah.
dungeon? Because I just thought the scene where Helga interrogates.
Have another go.
Where Helga interrogates. It was good.
Cheers. I want to go on to the dungeon because I love the scene of the interrogation scene.
You nearly went
I nearly went
again.
interrogate of Monsieur Alphonse, who again, honestly, is just so marvellous everything he does, and he had a Dicky Ticker moment, which was extremely.
But
funny.
you don't mind when Kenneth Connor is in the room. You know everyone's going to be looking at him, and you don't mind Kenneth Connor taking up the scene, do you? I once worked with Dora Bryan, and when she got going, you thought you just stand back and let them do it, don't you?
Yes.
You don't think about somebody taking over the scene because there's such good value.
Yes.
And I think Kenneth Connor is definitely one of those. Isn't
Definitely, and you know, when all these things were going on and happening to him, and right at the end when Herr Flick appears and Helga is thrashing his chest, trying to resuscitate him, and then you come in and start bashing him on the other side.
I mean, it's amazing he
pummeling him.
survived.
It's amazing that Ken the actor
Yes.
survived, let alone Monsieur Alphonse.
Oh, yes. I mean, we must have been pummeling him gently, but it was like, it was as if we were like banging the road with sledgehammers, wasn't it? Like breaking up concrete.
I very much enjoyed the fact that that von Schmollhausen was luxuriating in the fact that he was the one in the interrogator's seat and he was going to give this man hell before Herr Flick arrived, and then you punctured his balloon and said, I'm the one doing the interrogation. Go and stand in your cupboard, be quiet.
That's right, yes, he sent him out of the room, didn't
Can we allow this, that he does a whole description of a von Schmollhausen thing without doing an impression? I'm sorry, but you're going to have to do it.
I can't remember anything he said.
No, I can't either, actually.
Anything. Give us anything you've got.
Yes. You answer my questions before Herr Flick comes.
That's very good. I think that deserves a round.
I'll go and stand in my cupboard.
Because he gets above himself, but he never gets quite far enough, does he?
Yes,
And
but
when he gets above himself, there's always somebody to squish him.
That's
Yes.
right.
You know, it's usually you, but I love the fact that it was Helga who actually said, be quiet, I'm doing this.
Yes, yes, off you go.
Yes. And he never argues. So, oh, all right then, I'll go and stand in my cupboard.
Yeah, but he was lucky not to get clonked, because he usually does these days. doesn't he?
Yes, but there wasn't really anyone to clonk him, was there? Because you
You
hadn't
could have
arrived
clonked
at that
him.
moment.
I was expecting you to
I
clonk him.
don't think Helga would clonk him.
I think
She
she
would
would.
just give him a beady stare,
And
as
she
she
didn't,
did.
and she didn't have a clonking stick about her.
No,
No.
that's so true.
Mm.
Kenneth Connor did some marvellous gymnastics with his moustache. Did you see that?
Yes.
I mean, I've never seen a moustache move so fast.
Yes, quite true. Yeah.
He is good value, but we have to stop talking about him because it's becoming an obsession. We're becoming sort of fan geeks.
This October, we will be appearing live in our Listen Very Carefully stage show
In Guildford?
Salford?
and Shrewsbury.
For booking details, go to fane.co.uk.
That's F for Fanny
A for Alphonse.
N for Nouvion.
and E for Engelbert.
Something else which I rather liked, the way it was all set up within the script, was Gruber producing the suicide pill. And it was going to be put... Was it Gruber that produced the suicide pill and it was put in a pasty?
It was baked into a
It was
pasty,
going to
yes.
be baked into a pasty to be
And
given
then
to... I can't remember.
Yeah, it was to be given to Monsieur Alphonse if he broke under interrogation.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, and
yes,
spilt the
of
beans
course.
as
Yeah.
well, the forgery.
Yeah.
Yes. But then
theft.
mother-in-law ended up eating it in the bed.
But then the whole thing was the sort of setup of the suicide pill being in the pasty, then going upstairs to visit the grandmother, who has had her ear trumpet taken away from her, and so that the baby ducklings could be fed carrot soup through the ear trumpet.
Which was a wonderful visual in my mind.
Yes.
I imagined Madame Edith solemnly pouring carrot soup
Yeah.
into
Into
this
each
ear trumpet, and the little
duckling's mouth.
ducklings sucking away at
Yes,
the end.
yes.
It was a
Yeah,
lovely
trumpet.
visual.
So the whole thing had been, the ear trumpet was stolen from grandmother to feed the ducklings. But then when the ear trumpet is returned to grandmother, before she gets a chance to use it, she doesn't hear that the pasty by the side of the table she mustn't touch. And so by the time she sort of joins in the conversation again and watches the action, she picks up the pasty and eats it.
Yes, and we know that the pasty is in the room and it disappears for a bit. And we know something's going to happen. It's the MacGuffin, isn't it?
It's the MacGuffin.
Guffin.
But I thought, I know we talk about this a lot, but when Carmen brought the little ducklings and put them on the bar and talked about, I have to give them their supper and all that,
Oh, look,
there was
one's
a
fallen
genuine warmth, there was a genuine enjoyment and a truth to the way that she played it. wasn't
Yes.
there?
over. Yes.
Yes.
And I think she does that so much.
Yeah.
She took pleasure in mothering the ducklings.
Yes.
Which I like.
She really brings that character to life, doesn't
Yeah.
she? All the time.
Yeah.
Oh, look, one of them's fainted.
Oh.
He hasn't had his supper yet.
You must be hungry.
And then another one went down.
Yes, look, another one's fainted. You better feed them quickly.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But the suicide pill looked like something we've seen several times before, but they managed to get more value out of the suicide pill, didn't they?
Well, they managed to involve not only the old suicide pill cliche, but the grandmother spitting cliche, and they managed to get her
Put them together.
with a mention of the Gestapo to spit the pill out.
That's right. And thank goodness she didn't have her teeth in gag.
I enjoyed very much the talking bedpan, if I'm allowed to mention
Yes,
myself.
yes.
Can we mention your outfit first, please?
Yes. Well, actually, one of the things that I loved about this scene, that moment, was that when I appeared from around the corner dressed as a German nurse in this hospital, the audience had no idea who I was.
I didn't
We had
recognise
no
you.
idea, and I kept thinking, why do I know that face from?
And
then it turned out
and
to
then
be
and then the
Goblet.
moment I opened my mouth and spoke, it went, whoa!
Yeah.
The audience suddenly thought, oh my God,
It was
Gruber.
such a good disguise.
I hate to
lovely
break
moment.
it to you, but they went, whoa, because they saw Richard Marner.
Yeah, well, that too.
I'm only joking.
That too.
But that was an extra piece of value.
But
wasn't
he
it?
looked very good.
I thought
didn't
he was quite sexy,
Very good.
actually.
I don't know about sexy, but he certainly looked very convincing as a middle-aged woman.
I never thought I'd see Richard Marner in drag.
But you both look terrific, actually.
I think there'd be a spot for him at the Vauxhall Tavern, the way he was dressed.
Well, you were not to spoil a later episode, but
You're going to anyway.
There are other times.
When he gets in, yes, I think he may have done it before, actually, but it was
And he
choice.
certainly does it again.
And we
Yes,
should
well-
say hello to Lucinda Snell.
Oh, yes.
I'm
Well-
talking rubbish, it's Lucinda Smith.
Lucinda Smith, yes, she was extra good.
Shall I say that again?
You can
Yes.
go on.
And we must give a little shout out to Lucinda Smith, who played a lovely nurse.
She did, and she was extra good. And when Guy came round the
Why
corner...
are you talking to your bedpan? Was that what you
Yes,
said? Yes, right.
yeah.
Ah. Well,
He's psychic. He's psychic.
Is anybody there?
She'd also examined Monsieur Alphonse and sent his blood pressure up.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
Still on the hospital scene, there was Stephen Reynolds, who I thought was incredibly animated and played it beautifully. And he had those sort of cliche thick glasses that they always have doctors in war films.
Pebble glasses.
Yes.
Pebble glasses.
Yes.
But I thought he was superb, and he was nimble and funny and quick.
Yes.
And I hope we see more of him in future episodes. Hello,
Yes.
Stephen. We thought you
Yes.
were good.
And such a funny line when he came out when René, who is being hidden as a patient with Monsieur Alphonse in the trolley underneath. You see, it's so like the chateau, isn't it?
It is.
It's exactly the same device, just with different pieces of apparatus.
Yes.
And then the surgeon appears and says, "Is this a peasant woman to be
Got to do
taken?"
the voice.
Oh, I can't do the voice.
Do
I
a
can't
German
remember.
accent.
Is this a peasant woman?
That's good. That's
Is
good.
that-
Yeah.
Who is to have an emergency cesarean? I have come to do it now.
I'm ready to do it now. with the terrible gloves and all ready to
Yes.
take the knife and
And the
slice.
purple glasses.
Yes, it's just brilliant. And then he goes off like this at the
Yeah,
end.
and Gordon's face.
But you get one reaction on René's face, don't you?
Yeah.
When you talk about the cesarean, you think, of all things.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
And what were the girls disguised as? Sort of like hospital porters or something, weren't they?
Yes,
Waitresses.
hospital porters.
With moustaches and bright red lipstick.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Michelle of the Resistance had said, we're going to disguise you all as hospital porters.
Yes.
And wheel a trolley in and
Yeah,
with Monsieur Alphonse underneath, and then we'll substitute in the bed.
yes.
And
So- with the dummy underneath.
whereas you and the Colonel, I know were a sort of different idea of being disguised, but you were under brilliant disguise.
Yes.
You were believable. But the disguised hospital porters with their bushy
The
moustaches
girls with
and
moustaches.
their red lips.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of
was
that
so
over the
good.
years.
Yes, there
But
has.
it's
It has, really.
also to bring up the idea that it's a German hospital, which brings the jeopardy. It raises the jeopardy because they're in a German hospital.
Yes. Yeah.
But where do they get those ideas from? I mean, it's just plot, 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 isn't it?
And just such silly things like Monsieur Alphonse being hidden underneath René, still strapped to his. Oh, because that was another hysterical moment. Then when everyone was trying to get the little sucker things off his chest,
Which was
his
electro,
sleeves.
With strong
Electric.
hospital tape. They are stuck to me.
He was just so funny. He looked in such agony as people were trying to pull the wires off.
Yeah.
didn't
And the
he?
moment he said that, the suckers are stuck to me with strong hospital tape.
yeah.
You thought,
Oh,
yes, I
yes,
know what's
here we
going to
go.
happen now.
And everyone, all sorts of different people coming and trying to pull them off, and him in agony each
Yes.
time. And eventually they leave them on him, hide
Yes.
him underneath René. They wheel him out.
Yeah, never
and,
mind. We'll take the equipment with us.
and then some Germans appear, and his heart starts in panic to beat louder. And so the machine starts beeping, beeping. And René turns it into a silly beepy song,
Yes.
a tune.
Utterly
Which-
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But when they were pulling Monsieur Alphonse back and forth, it was Carmen doing it.
Oh.
And so it was,
Yes, of course.
it was
and
completely
he
believable.
was coming up and down
Yes.
the bed. I mean,
I think it could have been vulgar, it could have been clumsy, but they did it, made it look real.
It was hysterical, made me shout with laughter.
Yes. And they kept having another go at it in case you hadn't enjoyed it quite enough. I loved it.
Yeah.
Couldn't have liked it more. And there had to be a mention of Mac Fisheries.
Yes, Mac Fisher.
He did, I think it was Jeremy who did love talking about fish. Fish are funny. Fish are funny.
Yes,
like
fish.
like Gruber saying, I can't, draw a woman because at art school I left after we'd done fish.
Yes.
It just.
And I
It's
think
a funny word, isn't
Yes,
it?
it's
and
a funny.
Herr Flick and Von Smallhausen were fishmongers the week before.
That's right.
weren't they?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And big ones. We had a lot of big ones, didn't we?
And we did.
Oh,
yes, those are the big
yes.
ones.
Loads of scope
As you
for big
ripped your
ones.
blouse open
With all those
to show the
those-
money.
Yeah.
When you said you have a quarter of the money, were you talking about a quarter of the net or the gross? Because it was originally $1 million, then it went down to 750,000. Was it a quarter
And
of
nobody
that?
quite knew where the other 250,000 had
That's
gone.
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
But you were talking about your share of the 750, yeah?
Yes.
So where is the other 250?
Must be the Colonel must.
Or did it get burnt?
No.
No,
Was that a
no.
different? That was different money.
Yeah, that was different money. This is the Gestapo money. This is Herr Flick's counterfeit money,
Yeah.
which was stolen from the bank, and it
Yeah.
was $1 million.
Yeah.
And then they had the scene in the office where it turned out Gruber was counting it out, and it was 750,000. And somebody said, "Where's the rest gone?" And the Colonel said, "Never mind, this is quite enough," and grabbed it.
Yeah, but there is somewhere in the story where the rest of it is. It's only a small point, but it was quite fun. But of course, it had to go down your bra, didn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it had been everywhere, hadn't it?
It'd been everywhere. It'd been down my trousers,
Down lots of pairs
down
of
Rennie's
trousers.
trousers,
Yes.
Down my front.
down your front, down your bra. Yes.
They never pass up an opportunity, do they?
They really don't. To stuff something down somebody's trousers.
And there was a studio audience reaction when I was interrogating Monsieur Alphonse, and I then pulled up my skirt and lifted my leg to reveal my black suspenders, which he went, "Ooh, black suspenders!" But somebody in the audience, when I lifted up my leg, went, "Woo!"
I missed that.
I mean, as if they were surprised.
I know.
Who would ever be surprised that you show your suspenders? It was probably someone from your village.
Could easily have been.
Yeah. Do you wear suspenders and stockings when you're in the village?
No,
No.
I just save it for special occasions.
I only wear them professionally.
Yeah.
I only wear them in bed.
Do you? Don't you find them a bit uncomfortable?
Oh no.
Now, we have a letter from Sophia, who is in Hungary, and she's a teenager, and she wrote to us. And she was very worried that the letters weren't getting there, because we have said, whenever people write to us, we do endeavour to answer them all. But unfortunately, what I was trying to explain to her was that the episode that we were showing that week was recorded before we got her letter or seen her letter. So it's just a big shout out to Sophia, and she said how much she's been enjoying the podcast. I hope I've got the name right. Zsofia.
Sophia.
And, yes. And so we have received your letter, and thank you for writing in, and thank you for coming on board and becoming a peasant, which is what we call podsters now. isn't it?
Indeed, you are all peasants.
Our very own peasants.
Yes. Where's the one about?
And now you were going to read a letter which was written about your character,
Yeah.
I believe.
Oh, yes. Now we have a letter from Stuart, who wrote to me because he's been playing Herr Flick in a stage show of Hello, Hello. And he asked me if I could give him some tips of how to get into character. So, dear Richard, I've been enjoying the podcast immensely the past few weeks, especially this week when we heard a bit more about all your characters' backstories. I think I've cracked the timing of Herr Flick's walk with his cane for our stage show. Harder than you make it look on screen. Well, I would say it's easier if you're me because I made it up. You're the one who has to try and learn how to do it. So, thank you for your letter. Anybody else who's involved in a production of the stage show, we're interested to hear about them. Send us news of your stage show at pod
At
Helga
Gruber.
Flick.com.
That's
That's pod at HelgaGruberFlick.com. Yes.
There you go.
So I think it's nearly time for us to hit the road. So say goodbye to all you peasants, and we'll be back next week.
Thank you, peasants.
Thank you for
Bye-bye.
joining us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So, if you have any questions,
For answers,
Or stories for
Kim,
Guy
or Richard,
contact us on
pod at
Helga.
Gruber.
Flick.com. That's pod at helgagruberflick.com.